truck just sounded a bit weak trying to start it this morning. That goes to show how much I've been driving it lately. It's just been sitting at home, so might have to throw it on the charger here after today's video. Good morning and welcome back to another video here on the channel today. So guys, today what I want to do is I want to get this power system sorted in my rooftop tent. It's something I haven't really got around to doing. I've done one portion of it that I can show you today, but I want to go into mounting that flexible solar panel onto the top of the rooftop tent. And then I also want to show you the little power board that I've made, that basically the bonus with the carpet inside this tent is that Velcro sticks to it like mad, so you can pretty much get like a flat piece of aluminium, put Velcro on one side of it, and you can stick literally anything in the roof of the tent. So what I've done is I've created a little panel. I've mounted one of those little power stations that you can buy from like your automotive stores, and you can buy them on eBay and stuff like that. I've got one of them, hooked it up to Anderson plugs, and I'll show you it all here in a minute. But yeah, that way it's removable. If it kind of breaks, it's not permanently mounted, or if it kind of stuffs up, or it's easy in and out basically. So yeah, want to go ahead, put the solar panel on. I'll show you the power system and how I've got power up to my tent. And yeah, so that way if you've got a tent that doesn't have power, you can then go and fit your own power system. It's pretty straightforward, nothing too hard, very DIY sort of thing. So yeah, so let's get into it. Ew. Sorry truck, you've been getting neglected lately. This is very, very dirty. Rightio. Let's put this tent up. It's a beautiful sunny day. So here we have dirty, dusty solar panel that I bought probably about a month ago. If you haven't seen the video, just go back a few and you can see the video I did on testing a bunch of solar panels and some of the readings I was getting out of this panel. So I've decided to go with this panel over the other panels that I had available to me. Righto, so we're going to mount the solar panel up here on the roof. So I'm going to go ahead now and clean the roof with some wax and grease remover, ready for the 3M tape to adhere to this aluminium paneling. And then we're going to run the wires along down the channel there, secure it to the channel down there, and pretty much in the same spot as what the power runs into the tent, it's going to come back down the other side into the canopy and then back to the battery to charge through the solar. Alright, so I've pretty much polished all the way around the outside where it's actually going to stick down. I haven't really worried about the middle bit. It's just a little bit of grime on there, but yeah, I'm not going to polish the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead now, peel off the 3M tape on the back of the solar panel, and we'll go ahead now and get this stuck down. I've just got this, this is actually a Dynamat roller for putting the soundproofing in your car, so you could just get a small roller or something like that. I've just got one strip here. I'm just going to roll it really lightly. Don't want to damage the panel, so I've just pulled the 3M tape off up till there. Hopefully this holds it on there. If not, someone's going to get a free panel on the highway, because I probably won't turn around to go get it. Rightio, so basically got all the way down here done, all across the bottom, all the way up this side. I've just cleaned the panel too. Going to jump down now, jump on the tailgate, and I'll do the whole back side from the other side down there. Rightio, so we're back up the other side now. So I'll pull the rest of this tape out here using our roller. We'll roll it down nice and gently. But no, it looks good. I'm pretty happy. So get it all hooked up and see if it still works. So I'll have to peel this side off underneath here, but that's the 3M tape underneath the panel. So it's a real wide piece of 3M tape. Righto, so now what we've got to do, the solar panel's on the roof. Now I've got to get some wiring together, so I'm going to go ahead now and get a bunch of wiring, enough that I need to get all the way back down to the battery and where the red plug for the solar has to go into. So I do have all my conduit that I need, and I just got to find some wiring. That's the cable that I need. I just don't know if I'm going to have enough of it. Yeah, that's probably not enough. Bam! Jump forward, and it's only been about a minute later, and I forgot that I already pre-bought a setup. This is all pre-made setup a while back for this exact job, but I just completely forgot about it. So yeah, I ended up finding it was in one of my drawers, so all good. We'll go ahead now and get this all conduited up, and we'll finish running this across the top of the roof, and then we'll run this to the battery, and yeah, get this all hooked up. M8 bolts that will run in the top of the roof track. So basically they'll run in the roof track, and then the conduit with the solar wires will run through these rubbeted clamps. So that'll go in the channel, that'll then slide over the top, and the cable will run nice and neatly through this all the way along the front. So I'll show you the first one that I've done. So we've got the panel all down now, the wires coming from the panel. Make a quick U-turn here. So as you can see, I've got the bolt in the channel, then I've got another nut on top of that, and it's still loose at the moment. I've got to tighten it down. But just so you can see how I'm going to mount it, and then I'll continue this design when I get the rest of the cables all the way down. The reason why I put an Anderson plug here is in case this panel fails or messes up, I can simply tear it off the roof, put a new panel up here, and plug it straight in without running all the wiring and everything. The less Anderson plugs you can run, the better, but just for this application, I'm not too worried about the small amount of power loss I may get from having a plug up here. I'd rather the simplicity of being able to remove this without the headaches of running wiring all back down through underneath the truck. So that's how I'm going to run it down along the channel here. Okay, so we're just pulling the wiring through right now for the solar panel. As you can see, I've just got this loose wire here, conduit up there, so I'll cut that and terminate it wherever I need to. So as you can see, I'm just feeding it through the gap just in there. It's coming through into the canopy, and then I'll seal that back up around there so that way minimal dust and that gets in, but we'll tidy up this on the roof in a second. So we're just in the canopy now, so that's where the wires are coming through. I'm going to tidy all this up now, and the wire just runs around there to the battery. Rightio, so I've just finished wiring everything up. Got my quick disconnect Anderson up here, and then we're just simply mounted along the roof channel of the tent now. Nice and tidy, and like I mentioned before, if anything happens to this panel and it ends up being shit, then I can just tear it off and I can plug a new panel in up here. I've still got the other fixed panel, I can put that up here too, or I can buy another one of these panels. Yeah, the versatility now is good, so quick disconnect there, and yeah, so everything's all hooked up. So this is what I love about this tent. It's just so easy to put up and down, even holding the camera. Guys, unfortunately there is one thing I hate about this tent. That stupid ladder. They just suck. Like, you're never gonna have shoes inside your tent. Like, you kind of want to leave your shoes down here and then go up into your tent. So these runners, barefoot, they're not very wide. They're probably only about 1.5 inches wide but your foot treads are like you're always standing here. They need to design a ladder has flat treads at that sort of angle. So I'm going to make my own ladder, but yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there. That's one thing I hate about this tent is this ladder. Rightio, so we're in the top of the tent now. So this is the basic setup. So I'm going to do a full video on this tent, so make sure you subscribe, and I'll go through everything on this tent and why I love it and why it's so good. But today's basically just about power systems and how to put a power system in your tent. If you've got pretty much any tent, you can do this too. So very basic. So we'll move over here now and we'll look at my little power system. So all I've really done is got a piece of aluminium from the local hardware store, cut it out to match this little power unit that I have here, which you can buy from, if you're in Australia, you could get the aluminium from Bunnings, and then you could go to a place like J-Car or Super Cheap, and they sell these little 12 volt power units, and you can swap and change any of the outlets on the face here because they all just kind of screw in to the back, so you can pretty much swap these around to whatever you want. There's a bunch of different ones you can get. So I've gone for the voltage meter, the 2 USBs and the 12 volt cigarette, so I have a little bit of a variety there. But pretty basic, just got the aluminium, screwed this to the aluminium, and then cut the bolts off, the screws off at the back, and then stuck Velcro on the back side of this. I can't get it off because it's bloody well on there hard, but sorry for the lighting, but it's pretty dark in here. So the power, I've pretty much just got this little bit of loose extra cable here that runs up there. So this pretty much piggybacks. So once you run to your power up to the tent, because the Bush Company tent already comes with this Anderson here, so it comes pre-powered up. You just have to plug it in from the other side. But then there's an Anderson plug in here if you want to choose to run accessories, so basically anything you want to run. So I've chose to put my own Anderson plug on and then run my cables up to my little power unit that I've built. So it's basically grommeted. There's 2 grommets just there, positive and negative, that go through the floor. And yeah, so this tent does come pre-wired, so this is all pre-wiring. I didn't do this wire, I did this one, and this one's for the light and everything that's in the tent. So yeah, this is how I've hooked up my small power system. But like I mentioned, anyone can kind of do this. It's pretty basic. You just drill 2 holes, get the grommets, make sure you have grommets and everything ready to go, and then bolt an Anderson plug on both sides, run your power through, hook it up to both Andersons, and then you can piggyback off one side for lights and things like that if you want, and then this side for your USB or whatever. And yeah, so you can pretty much do this to any tent, King's tent, LU cab tent, whatever tent you've got. Basically, this is pretty straightforward. So the power system's over there. I've shown you that. What I also carry inside the tent is my Mob Armor mount. I've screwed this to one of the braces here, is the magnetic plate, because the tent's aluminium, so obviously this isn't going to stick. So, but that basically just holds my iPad up there when I want to watch movies and stuff like that. Or I put my phone up there. And then I also in the tent carry chargers for both my phone and my iPad. So that way I'm not jumping up and down in case I've already gotten into bed. I'm not jumping down into the car to grab my charger out. I've bought both chargers that are in here for my iPad. So I also do carry a torch up here in the tent with me in case I've got to get down in the middle of the night or hear something outside. I can simply just point this out the window and see what's going on, so I always keep that up in here too. Raptor fans, we're doing more to the Raptor next week, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, righto guys, so that's basically inside the thing. I'll show you. So that's the pre-wired light, which is white and amber. So that comes pre-wired in this tent already. So the cable just comes up to the roof rack here and then runs back across into the rooftop tent, and you can see those Anderson plugs just there. Basically they're bolted through the floor of the tent itself, and then the two wires that come out of the other Anderson plug go up through grommets into the floor. Righto, so that's basically a run through of my tent's power system. We just mounted the solar panel on the roof. It's a job I've been trying to get around to doing lately. I just haven't had time. So we've done that today. We've now got solar coming from the tent into the battery, and then the battery running the power back up into the tent with that little power bank up there. Yeah, but great idea to have your chargers and flashlight and all that sort of stuff in your tent all the time, so that way you're not kind of getting in bed and jumping back down and then grabbing things and going back up again. You've got basically what you need in your tent all the time ready to go. So if you're new to the channel and you want to, please consider subscribing. I do a lot of four-wheel drive stuff, overland stuff, install videos, DIY stuff, and we've also got the Ranger Raptor. We're doing a lot of work to that. Got the F250, we've got the Polaris General, camping stuff. So please consider subscribing. Like this video if it's been informative and it's helped you out, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See yous.